I'm Trevor Shirley with WFJB. Do you have a specific date that you're planning on filing this lawsuit?
At this particular time, we're still consulting and receiving legal counsel because we want to cross all of the T's and dot all of the I's. But as soon as this class action lawsuit or injunction is filed, you will surely know who the plaintiff is and you'll know who the defendant is. Thank you.
So what kind of a timetable are we looking at? Do you have any kind of a ballpark estimate? I mean, a month, 6 months?
Well, I mean, patience is a virtue, because when you are planning to go into legal battle, this is something that you don't want to do off the cuff. Because as you know, in a court case, evidence must be presented, facts must be presented, because things must be proved beyond reasonable doubt.
And lastly, real quick, you do have a pro bono attorney you found who's willing to work for you?
Well, at this particular time, as I said, we're consulting with attorneys. However, I don't understand why that's such a highlighted question of who's going to pay, as opposed to us being focused on the laws and the violations of the Constitution of the United States as well as the state constitution. That's the issue, not who's going to pay for the lawyer. Because any lawyer that's worth their profession would love to step forward and fight for justice.
Krista B. from WSBT News. Will this lawsuit be filed on behalf of the city commission, the city, just the majority of board members? Well,
as we said, when the lawsuit is filed, it'll be concise and clear who the plaintiff is and who the defendant is.
Joe Garber, WSJM News. Why were all commissioners not informed of this lawsuit, and why hasn't there been a resolution for a lawsuit?
Well, I think that you have to understand that across lines, whether it's federal, state, or local, government bodies are on different sides of the aisle. You have on the federal level bitter contest between the Democrats and the Republicans. The Republicans want to repeal the Obamacare and so on and so forth. So even in Benton Harbor, we have differences as well as an elected body. Here you see 6 commissioners or 5 commissioners and the mayor, and you don't see 3 that are here, and I can't speak for them.
But shouldn't they have been informed at least before that email was sent out?
With all due respect, the majority is the authority, and because you have 6 commissioners here today. The information went out to you as well as it went out to them. We have spoken with each and every commissioner that you're talking about or you're speaking about. All 9 commissioners know the problems, they know the situation, and they know the reaction for this action.
Is that in violation of the Open Meetings Act because they weren't brought in to meet with you guys when you were...
There was no meeting. There was no meeting. Anytime you're in violation of the Open Meetings Act is to conduct business. There was no meeting that consisted of more than 4 commissioners. We never conducted any kind of business. It was all by phone conversation, email, or text messages, which will not be a violation of the Open Meetings Act, but everyone was informed.
Do you have any proof or documentation? I think it was usually that it said there was some wrongdoing or some lies by Joseph Harris. Do you have any proof or documentation of that?
Yes, we do.
Is that available for us to view?
How much do you need? And how much time do you have?
Well, we're going on the news at 5, so.
There's plenty. The Boys and Girls Club issue was blamed on the commission. We have massive emails that it was not our fault. They found a better location. Industrial sanitation. The argument supposedly about industrial sanitation never took place. The fact finding of even the office that has been procured by him. The stating that the commission did not want a city manager, and we voted to keep a city manager. It's on and on and on and on, stating that he would never turn off the city cell phone. It was just a rumor. But yet we find out today that only the city commission was targeted. The list goes on and on and on. We do have information. Again, how much do you need and how much time do you have? He said he also was not a member of the Consortium of Development. And he is.
You mentioned you understood why he was here. Would you welcome another PFM if one was appointed by the Snyder administration?
With open arms. Tomorrow, if he would come. We would have a parade for him. Because this has been an insult and humiliating, not only to our standing governing body, but also the citizens that elected them.
As it relates to Governor-elect Snyder, I think that it would be very wise and prudent for him to take a serious look at the disastrous implementation of Public Act 72 and begin to make swift changes as it relates to emergency financial managers, not just in the city of Benton Harbor, but I think since he's on the east side of the state, he should probably start right there in Detroit, and then the next day come to Benton Harbor. Yes, sir.
Have you had any conversations with him or representatives of his administration along those lines?
Well, since our cell phones have been cut off, I may have missed a call. But I would like to say...
assuming even nerds read newspapers too.
Right. But this is not a cell phone issue. We all have our own personal cell phones, so that's not, we don't want to minimize and trivialize the breaking or the lack of upholding Public Act 72 of 1990. That's why we are here, not about a cell phone. But, it is when you work for or do business on behalf of a company, it's, not wise to use your personal phone to do the business of a organization.
He asked a question about we haven't been in contact with Snyder's people, commissioners.
Yes.
We have been in consistent conversation with that new regime that's coming on board. We're thankful that majority of the holdovers who had a play in all of this coming to pass are not going to be held over. And we will have our day soon, even with the Snyder camp. Thankful for open door, open arms, and open ears. Again, this is not about cell phone issues, and it's not. Let me make something clear. Majority of our city commissioners have jobs. This is not a paid position, high paid position. We don't get insurance. We don't get all of these things. So when it talks about the cutting of the pay and they're mad for this or that reason, we're not talking about anything superficial. We're talking about the reason why you place somebody here, the guidelines that he's to operate under, and the things that is not being done the way the Act says it's supposed to be done. The Act never says that you're assuming the legislative duties of the mayor and the city commission. We yet have the authority to legislate in the city of Benton Harbor, and we have not been given that opportunity.
Any other questions from any of the media? Yes.
You had said that the lawsuit is upcoming. Are you going to be passing a resolution to conduct a lawsuit?
Could you speak up, please?
Are you going to be passing a resolution, or have you already, to conduct a lawsuit?
Once everything is prepared and we're ready to do so, I'm sure we will pass a resolution on the city council floor to make it legal. Everything that the council does should be in resolution form. We function by resolution and ordinance, and we make sure that it's legal, and no one can argue with that. But let's look at one other point here. We know, and you read in the paper, that we will not have a city manager after the end of this month. The charter specifically states that the city must have a city manager. There's 5 offices for this community, just under the auspices of the mayor and the commission. The city manager, the finance director, the assessor, the clerk, and the city attorney. They work for the mayor and the commission. not for anyone else. And the charter says we must have a mayor and you must have a city manager. And this gentleman is trying to eliminate all of that. He wants to assume all the responsibility. You know, there isn't a place anymore in America for people with one person to assume all the responsibility. We know that's not possible. One person can't do everything. That's why we have 8 commissioners. We have to spread out the work. Our commissioners have been said that work, everyone has a job. And the commission's pay was cut. When this gentleman came to the city of Benton, he came in to cut the city manager's salary in half, cut the commission and the mayor's salary in half, and the mayor and commission does not receive a salary, they receive a stipend. Now he's talking about going back and cutting it again. And I have issue with that. Our commissioners work very hard, very diligently to try and keep this community afloat. They have committee meetings, they don't get paid for that. Other organizations and other political jurisdictions in this county, they get paid very well. I mean, they get a salary, they get insurance, they get mileage, they get all these things. And then they talk about the city of Benton Harbor and our commissioners. I'm appalled and I'm appalled. You know, you talk about things that people don't really understand what really transpires in this city. Our elected officials are the most prominent officials, local elected officials in Berrien County, and they get less than anyone else. And that's a real travesty, ladies and gentlemen. You come in, you cut the mayor's commission's administrative assistant who was barely making minimum wage. Now how much tell me, what will that have to do with our budget? What effect will that have on the city's budget? Not very little. You have a financial manager who makes $136,000 a year, and he'll cut someone and fire him and lay him off and make $20,000. Let him take a cut in his pay. Let him cut his salary, $30,000. That's what we're asking.
Yes, I would just say for the record that I would serve on this council for nothing. No stipend, no cell phone, no pay, because I'm not doing this for any monetary gain, but simply for putting public service first. Thank you for coming out.